Podcast z kláštera.
Zdravíme vás u poslechu 8. ročníku podcastu z kláštera. Ten pro vás již tradičně nahráváme na akci Sympozium Illustrace, která se koná každé jaro v Broumovském klášteře. Seznamte se s letošními účastníky a účastnicemi a sledujte veškeré dění na našich profilech na Facebooku, Instagramu nebo webu www.sympoziumillustrace.cz. Podcast moderuje Michaela Ryžová.
Podcast z kláštera.
Dnešní rozhovor proběhne opět v angličtině. Today's interview will be held in English as our guest is Finnish artist and illustrator Terhi Ekebom, who is an open-minded experimenter. She works across illustration, comics, wall painting and installations. She published her debut comic book A Cow's Dreams in 2001, and since then she has released various other comic books and contributed to international anthologies. Let's talk about your work, inspiration, the Finnish illustration scene, and also public art and wall paintings. Hello!
Hello, I'm nice to be here.
So, how are you enjoying your residency so far? And if you can say, what are you working on here?
Yeah, I'm enjoying so much. We have this first week back of us and one week ahead, and I'm so happy to be here. It's awesome to work here. And I'm making an artistic zine about my experiences here around the city and all those feelings and discoveries I have here, and I'm reflecting them against my own history and all the feelings and thoughts. I try to make some coherent art piece.
So it means that you probably walk around a lot and you observe a lot.
Yes, and I also like to sit around and listen to the birds and listen to the sound of the city and observe things that existed here like hundreds of years. And I've been thinking a lot about people who used to live here that are perished now. They were once here and now they're no more. And I also think about the people who live here and experience these surroundings, like overall, like human existence. Yeah.
So I suppose that it's also nice that the period of the year, it's spring is coming now, and everything wakes up, the nature, and that's a good time also for these observations.
They are, because spring is always like optimistic period for me, and also there's more light here already than in Finland, and I really like when it's lots of sunshine and light, and I really like the weather, like it's crispy and mountainy, fresh, crispy weather. I enjoy this so much.
And can we say that something like Finnish visual language exists? And if so, is it visible in your work?
I think it's a thing that you can't run away and you have to accept it. And other people see it more clearly than yourself. But also I like the visual language of Czech world, because we used to watch the animations, for example, when I was a child. So I think there's lots of like common things. Yes.
And can you name some maybe for our listeners what it can be?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. We used to have this children's program, Pikku Kakkonen. It's small number 2 channel, and there we saw lots of animations. And at one point I also wanted to be an animation artist. That wasn't possible at my time, so this is something that didn't happen, but storytelling happened anyways.
So you think that it's connected with storytelling, maybe also with some color palettes also?
Yes, yeah, I like the Czech color palettes from the, for example, 60s and 70s. They are soft and, how can I say, they are not pastel, they are soft. They suit my style also. And I'm happy when I get to make this kind of color palette.
And you also mentioned that now here in Czech Republic there is more light than in Finland.
Yes.
Does, for example, also the Finnish light or not so much light and landscape play a role in maybe in even in your themes and topics?
It does, because, for example, I did few years ago this kind of zines, art zines, with the theme I'm not afraid of darkness, which I'm not afraid of darkness. I'm afraid of some things that might happen in the dark. But darkness is also a beautiful thing. And it's like, it's important thing for nature and people. For example, trees need darkness. They need to sleep. And if they are like, light is like, if they are illuminated, they suffer. Their growth suffer, and all the insects and birds and bats, they need darkness. And there are darkness reservoirs in the world. We don't have those in Finland, but we have dark places also where you can really embrace the darkness. But yeah, I think darkness is as important as light. But here I enjoy the light, and the sky seems to be higher. And it might, some specialist might explain it too, that it actually is, or the clouds are in the different position or something. But this is the feeling I get here, more Central Europe, like the sky is higher, and it lifts your spirit. And then it's also nice to like inspect some darker subjects in your works, because the surroundings have light, so you're not depressed when you're looking at the sad things, because it's horrible to be sad, depressed, and then focus on sadness. It's better to have this, all the scale of like happiness and sadness, to be open for the whole scale in your life and in your work.
That's really nice. Can you maybe, because maybe you are the biggest questions from residents, because not maybe many Czech illustrators who are mostly listeners know about your work. Can you describe what you are doing? What's your artistic approach? How would you describe your artwork and illustrations?
It's really close to the things that I find meaningful in life, like nature and our responsibility. So you can probably find this in all of my works, that I don't go against the things I believe. This has cost me money. For example, I don't do things that I feel like meat industry. I don't work for them, and I have said no. I think we are responsible for each other, and also for animals and for nature. So I think you can find this undertone everywhere. But I also want to enjoy life as it is. I want to inspect and observe and find the beautiful side, though I'm not afraid of the sadness or the harsh things or dark reality. But I always try to look at that there should be one corner where there is hope, because hope is what we need. And I like to test different methods and materials, and I exchange those. I change them every once in a while. I think I mostly like line drawing is my way of observing things. But I started as a painter, and illustration came as an accident, because I felt like the exhibitions had 100 people, and then that's it. But if I had an illustration for a magazine, it was hundreds of people who saw it, and I felt like my illustrations and pictures have message, that I don't do them only for myself. I can do them also only for myself. I can do things without an audience, but this was the happy accident that people started to commission works for me, and then I learned more how to be an illustrator, because we didn't have education for that when I was studying, and also we don't have that anymore because Aalto University cancelled illustration program,
Okay.
for like saving money reasons. I used to teach that for 2 years also. So, and I'm also graduated from Aalto. So I had lots of like awesome background for this kind of work from there. But yeah, because at my time when I was studying, we were able to study as much as we wanted. Nowadays, it's like when you have enough weeks, then you're out of the school. But at that time, I had studied so much, and then the dean came and told me that you have now this and this much of study weeks, that maybe it's your time now to like graduate and go away. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about your studies because you studied at Aalto University and also at Metropolia Institute of Art and Design.
Yes.
How did these different environments shape your open-minded approach to art?
It's a good question. They are very different, or were, probably are still very different. Like Aalto University was more like artistic approach, and also like theoretical approach, and I got to test so many different materials and methods, and really like discover myself over and over again. And I got really good sense of also for talking about art, because we had like museum pedagogy there, and it was very like eye-opening thing. But in Metropolia, I concentrated more on learning how to execute graphic works, like the different kind of programs and systems, and how to work with print houses, and how to like make the things happen in that way. So they were totally different. Yeah.
And you work across illustration. You already spoke about it, that it was some kind of accident or like not planned way.
Yeah.
And also installations play a really important part in your work. Do you find that these mediums talk somehow to each other and influence each other, or do you treat them as completely separate works?
I think they are part of the same thing. Of course, they have different approaches, and you have to use different methodologies. And also, for me, I feel it's like a spectrum, rather, where I have like total freedom, and then I have commissions where I do exactly what I'm told to. And this is like the spectrum, and these are like the opposite ends. And of course, everybody wants to be as free as possible, but also commissions, I love them if they are good commissions, when you are told what they want you, and then when they show you, or you can find the way where is your freedom in that particular project. So you have the limitations of the commission, and then you have the freedom, and then you can really like use your imaginations how to execute the thing. And I enjoy these kind of tasks. But I also, for example, these installations, they are my total freedom. And also comic art is my total freedom. I have done few commissions, but I didn't enjoy it, and then I understood that this is like the niche which is my freedom, and I have to be free in there. But also for my installations, they are total freedom. Now I'm making installation for this demolition art project, which we have in Finland, and I think there are several places abroad also, when there are buildings that are going to be demolished, and then you use recycled materials, and then you have freedom to do whatever you want inside the space. For example, there is still like 50 artists now participating this demolition art for this year, and we have all our separated rooms which we are free to like do whatever. And I am engraving recycled plexiglass, and I'm going to make installations about that. And it's once again, the theme for me is like our responsibility and our place in this time and universe and planet. Like we should be more humble. Like we are not the kings, we are just serving servants. No, we are part of living like a bird here. Yes. So it's, yeah. But they feed each other, and this one I'm engraving this, but I also do metal graphic if I have time, and I might use those installation the plastics for my engravings later. I might make prints out of them, but now I'm just engraving them and setting light under them so they shine in the dark room where I have these my discoveries of millions of years on Earth theme.
Moving from the intimate scale of a comic book or page or a little graphic to massive installation is a huge leap. What do you enjoy most about the physical challenge of art or installation or public art?
When I do public art, first thing, I'm always really happy and humble to be able to do that, because everybody can't, and it's a big competition because everybody wants to do that. Many want to do that, not everybody, but it's challenging because there's responsibility for other people because they are going to live with the piece, and I try to like always consider the people who are going to spend their everyday life maybe passing that work or living next to it. So there's big responsibility, but it's always wonderful thing when I try to think the ways I can make their life better a bit and still combine the subject of my work so that there is something meaningful. I have something to say. But I try to say it not like accusing way. I try to bring up, for example, some problems, but always like it's not individuals' fault, maybe. There are individuals whose fault things are, but I try not to like point fingers. I think it's like childish in a way, but I try to like remember the people who have to live with a piece, and also about, is the message valid? Is there a message? I always try to include some message.
It's interesting that you, I think, mentioned like that when you are working for public space, it's not about, now it's for me as an artist and I will exhibit me here, but thinking about the people who are like spending time there or passing these places. But do you see, for example, some cultural differences when you travel around the world? How society or some other different nations like have different approach to public space and art in the public space?
They do, and I'm always really interested in seeing those, how these things are made out. And well, I hate when there is some hero sculptor whose works are, for example, there are some islands, I don't mention where, there are this hero sculptor whose works are all over the island. Like, was he really the only one? Like, we are celebrating him over and over again. Because there might have been also a few other people who could have done this. And okay, I have some sort of complex about this, like lifting somebody so much above others. Because I try to bring people together, rather. That's my approach. But yes, I always check like public pieces when I travel. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, and maybe in your case, if we hear illustration, public space, maybe a lot of people come up with, oh, it has to be like wall paintings. But it's important to say that you doesn't work just with the wall paintings, but also with wallpaper on glass, for example,
Yes.
or paper installations. Can you describe a bit more your art pieces in public space?
Yes, I have made few times with big glass printing on glass, and I love that. I always include some, for example, in one elementary school, I made a piece about the flying squirrels, which live next to the school and in the small forest that you can see from that particular big window. And I tried to make it beautiful, like the squirrels are flying and they have nests, and I examined like what kind of the nests are and what kind of trees and what they eat, and I included so many facts in this beautifully executed piece. I tried to make it beautiful, and there is like the flying distance, how the squirrels learn to fly, and what is the necessary space between the trees so the flying is possible. So I try to include these things, and I'm always happy when I can find the subject from the surroundings. And I have also made several times like cutouts from aluminium, and then it's colored and they are installed inside schools or on the walls outside and daycare centers. And I like them as well, because it's wonderful to, I always feel like I'm making linocut, because it's similar thought process with those ones. I love to make them. And we've also made sound art, or how can you describe it? Spaces where you have this music or sound world that is about this world where the visuals also come from. So that is part of my works. We've been making this together with my colleague and friend Sebastian, and I hope we make them also in future. Like we have been imagining the sound of the roots of the trees, what kind of sound and messages they send when they grow inside the earth, and then the pictures and visual world is about forests and being in forests, and how you can be in forest like in respectable manner, and also all the other creatures that live in the forest, like mushrooms. They are so trendy now, but I'm also into them. So because we have so much to learn from them, they are really communal creatures. So yes, I don't represent my mushrooms here, but there are some other artists here have wonderful mushrooms, and we've been also talk about this mycelium word. So.
And do you have in Finland any rule that, for example, when there is some revitalization or rebuilding or building something new, there has to be some art as part of new building, for example, or something?
We have this % rule, which is the main thing that has been commissioning me. It's hard now when there's recession and the buildings are not built, but I hope it returns. I think it's awesome because you have more art everywhere and varying art. It's not just this one person, like in this particular island where is this hero sculpture. So there's a variety of people making them. Yes, I really hope better times and more commissioned public art, because it's always like wonderful challenge, because I've been told that okay, we want something on the outside walls of the building, and then I start thinking, okay, wow, what's the budget and what is the theme and how can I combine that, and then I have to learn like all the methods how to make the things stuck on the walls and how they stay there and how you illuminate them, and there's so much good things happening.
And you finished new piece last year, right?
Yes,
in
yes.
Tussula?
Yes. There I made big prints for daycare center. 4 big pieces, like 6 meter long, and then there were like prints on the floor, and there I got to design something that the children could like observe but also play with them somehow. So I made like spots for them to like play and follow the path, and there I made the mushroom children playing, and yes, and then also for the glass doors, for safety reasons, there was some see-through art, which was also wonderful to do. Yes.
And is there a specific medium where you feel most at home, we can say, when you want to express very personal emotions, or?
I think it varies, but it might be this what I'm doing here with aquarels, because there's this element of surprise for me.
Yeah, you can't plan it to the.
Yeah. And so,
you can't control it to the detail.
Yeah. And it's wonderful to like explore your own feelings, because it's distancing already. Like if I would take a tiny black pencil and make exact lines, then I would be in control of everything. And then if you want to explore and let the feelings and observations flow, then I think you should accept some sort of surprise too. Yeah. And I felt like yesterday I was thinking like I'm like taking pictures with a camera that is a bit broken, so it like leaks light to the film, so all the pictures surprise me as well. So I think this has been really important for me, to surprise myself in good and bad ways, but not like going the same direct path all the time. That would be a useful way to live your life, but I think the surprise element is always good.
Yeah, and I think it's also something like that when you work on commissions, people usually ask you for the art you already done,
true.
because they know, okay, I want something similar, not the same in the best case.
Yeah.
And but if you have a time to experiment in your personal work, then again it can lead some commission to ask you for something you discovered in your free time or in your joyful time.
True. When I started illustrating, my portfolio had like 5 or 6 different techniques, and it was really fun because when I got commission, I got to also choose like what would suit this kind of work. But nowadays it's gone to that direction, at least in Finland, that my commercial portfolio has sort of like only one style, because I think the people who nowadays make the commissions want something that is coherent, and they have to be in line. And I think this is really sad. For a while, I made so much pictures about fruits and health, and then I looked at my portfolio and I found the answer there, because so much fruits and health. So, yeah, I know you can make change for your commissions by checking out your own portfolio, and this is something I'm gonna do with my students, because I'm also now teaching a bit illustration. So we were thinking about going through different portfolios and then like giving each other, because they are adults, feedback.
It has been over 20 years since your comic debut, A Cow Stream, was released. How has your storytelling style evolved since then? Is there something, some changes happened, or?
It has changed, yes, and developed. I'm happy to say that. But For almost all the comic books, I changed my style. So that is something that keeps it alive for myself, but it's also a bit bad thing for me. That was that the books look so different. But people say that they can recognize me as an author there. But it would be much easier for me to like have a career if they were in line. Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't like give me like life is too short to do that.
And can you tell me more about your comics? It's like who's the for who are you making them, and you work with the text or not so much, or what? You mentioned that the big inspiration for you is nature. It's also visible in your comic books.
It's visible and it has a big role there, but also I'm really interested in like watching people and wondering like why are they doing those things and why they are choosing the life they are choosing if they have freedom, and also like if they have like something that stops them from choosing things, how do they react and what happens next. I'm really curious observer, and I have so many notes when I hear about something that I'm like, wow, this is then I write it down like this was the thing that amazed me, like, so I pick those things for my scripts. I've made few times like comics for other people's scripts, and I'm open for that, but I'd rather do them myself, because then I have freedom to like, because I want the freedom for that, because that is not the one where that my income doesn't come so much. It used to come more like from the grants. I've received like also good grants for making comics, so my income comes from there, but I get to be free if I get to get that grant for free. The application, you always some people are really good at observing the trends. Like there are several things that are trending now in Finland, and people are applying for them a lot, and they are receiving also a lot. So, but I think that doesn't suit me. I can't say that I'm making story about some trendy subject if I'm not into it myself. So I can't do it even if it looked like forced. It will look like forced.
Yeah, you said on the beginning that you have things you believe in and you would like to be with them through your work, which it's
but for commissions I can do more, but also if they are totally against my beliefs, then I can't.
And maybe if I ask one more question about storytelling, like what kind of storytelling is close to you? It's something more lyric or really narrative, or how you think about storytelling?
I like both, like really that is proceeding like a train and things are happening. I like that, but I also like that, like something like more lyrical, like the clouds are floating by and there's a leaf flying in the wind and there comes a thought, and I'm open for those. They serve different purpose, and I think I have those in my toolbox, like mental toolbox. I like to read about storytelling, and every once in a while I participate in somebody else's class for storytelling I'm interested in. But I don't follow any particular ready-made like form. I have worked together with a person who helped me with, for example, ghost child's like script. He was checking like but he was like helping me. I don't remember what's the word for a person who helps you.
Like
with
dramaturgist?
Yeah. I like to work with dramaturgist, and I had one of my friends is really good, and he's working also for television, and he helped me with Ghost Child's script, and it was really good. It's very hard when somebody says that, oh, this is not enough, or when they say that this is totally unnecessary, cut it away. It's horrible, but it's really wonderful and necessary. So, but that's the painful part. Yeah.
You also mentioned that some never-ending process of learning to attend some classes. Is it something important, and do you think that's important also for other artists, maybe like to be inspired and never stop to learn more and meet with lectures?
I think so. And you also learn by teaching.
Yeah.
Because you have to like figure out that, okay, if I have to tell about this and this subject, then I have to sit down and think like, what do I believe? And how do I say this out loud? But yes, I love to go to different kind of lectures and courses. I even love to spend my holidays. I don't have them much, but I like to take a class somewhere, go somewhere and take a class, and then rest and enjoy the nature and then learn something new.
And you are now head of the course for some adults, or it's at the university, or something like a...
These are for the artist societies. I'm teaching acrylic painting for another and illustration for another. Yes, and they are adults.
And you have been part also of many international anthologies. Do you notice a difference in how your work is perceived in Finland versus, for example, Japan or Brazil? Or
yeah, I've noticed that Finland is perceived somehow exotic. So that's always funny because it feels so regular to yourself. But this is what people get when they travel. They get to see the special sides of themselves. Yes. And I've heard Tuve Jansson and Aki Kaurismäki references very many times, and that's really welcomed.
Yeah, flattering.
Yeah, it is, because of course I exist similarly with them and they are big heroes, but I've never thought of like following their steps, though I respect them. But it's funny because we live in the same culture, so it affects you.
But you received like a lifelong achievement prize in Finland for your work, which came after the book Ghost Child. Yes. Can you maybe tell us more about this book, and also how was it for you to get this like a big achievement for your work?
I was really happy about the prize. I thought that it would be wonderful to get it one day, but it was total surprise. It was wonderful, and it made I felt stronger after that, and I think it fulfilled it meaning, like making artists like feel seen and feel stronger. The book Ghost Child, it tells about tragic things that happened to me. But you can't tell what happened by reading the book. But there are the elements are wide open there. There is this woman that moves to distant area alone for some reason, and she settles next to this really sad and abandoned forest. And during the night time, she can hear howling from the forest. And she can feel that the forest is also as sad as her, but we still don't know why she's sad, why the forest is sad. And then we show this thing that there's a tiny ghost child living in the forest. And the book tells about how they are getting to know each other. And it started for me like I felt just strongly about this woman moving to a distant place. I didn't know what was going to happen, so I started this project by drawing the pictures and the scenes. So I didn't know, for example, that there would be a ghost emerging from the forest. I didn't know that there were ghosts in the forest. And I didn't know it was going to be a child and they would like get to know each other and give each other something. But this came along the story for me and it was really good. It felt really good for me because I had something relatable tragedies in my life at that point. So it was really therapeutic also to make this thing and also it was really soothing and I felt like it's a way to communicate my feelings without like exposing everything. And this is like my comic stories are all about, like the real things are hidden there on plain sight, but you can't pick them unless you know. Like the book I had before that was name was Honeymoon Island, and that was after I had separated from my long-term boyfriend, and I inspected those feelings like when you're separated and cutting the ties that you had developed during so many years and how it feels, but you can't tell that there is a real, or maybe you can tell there's a real feelings behind it, but
It's not documentary, but
yeah, that there is like, I made like some starfish creatures were binding together and then struggling to get each other's untangled. That was one storyline. And one storyline was a woman who decided to go to Honeymoon Island, even though they had just broken up. And when all the other people were couples. So I like to tell the story in different levels within the same book. Yeah.
Does this therapeutic side of artwork comforts you in some way, that you know that if something hard maybe will come, that your artwork is the way to help you?
Yeah, those are almost my words. Like I always have the art to express it. Yeah, and I think it's soothing for everybody, that you don't have to suffer alone. And with a ghost child, there has been so many people have been telling me that it has helped them. And when this came out when my daughter was teenager, and her friends, like the boys, came and told that I read this book and I went to the army and I felt so abandoned and I read your comic album and I love it. And I heard so many young men in army read it and felt this, like how you feel when you're abandoned and then you're discovered again. So it can also be read for children. If you hop one opening, you shouldn't tell what's happening there, because I'm telling also the story about this Japanese forest where you might also know, everybody probably knows, it's a tragic place where people are abandoned. And then I read about this forest when I had this forest in a distant place. And then I was really touched by the whole thing. And I think it was published in Japan probably just because of that they recognize probably this thing of like also like being abandoned and found again, and also the forest. Though it's not written anywhere there, so you have to just feel the thing.
You've also exhibited all over the world. Is there a particular city or culture that has left a lasting footprint on your aesthetic or approach to storytelling, maybe even?
Oh, I love the way the exhibitions in Greece have been put up these years, and also the Japan, though I don't follow any manga culture, but the wooden cuts in Japan are big for me. And I felt also I've been visiting twice in Brazil, and it has left me, for my wall paintings, like permanent touch. And also Portugal, I've been having exhibitions there a few times. I was moved how seriously they took like comics as an art form. And we had beautiful spaces to show our works, and it gave so much strength and feeling, okay, this is exactly how it should be like received. Like one of my friends, she's a writer, and this is already like 20 years ago or 15 years ago. She said that I see how hard you work, as hard as I, but for me it's so much easier because I'm writing books and I'm getting respected, and you are making comics and you are not getting as much like grants and respect as I do. And it would have been like wise thing to choose like only text as an expression, because I also like to write, but also the storytelling, visual storytelling is so important. So, but this is I think, isn't it like all over the world that the text is respected over the pictures? And this is something I'm a bit sad about. Like it's a more adult thing and more respected.
But maybe if we are in a time of like social medias and like quickly information that some people are more and more used to don't read much and just read short text and a lot of information like take through the pictures and short messages through social media. So it's horrible, but maybe in some way it can be like the rise of comic books or something.
That is, it can be.
It's twisted, I know.
It's twisted, but you can make a shortest things, visual, 15-second things. Yeah, it's a payback time for the text. But though I love to make longer books as well. Yeah, that's a good point. They got to feel this thing. No, that
I hope that it will not happen and
it
follow in that way.
Too.
But it was
like libraries were really important for me when I was a child. Like I think the library system was exceptional then, and you didn't have to own the books. You could read how much you had energy in you, and you could order the books from another side of the country if you wanted some particular book. And I, for example, I read all the youth books and all the science fiction books and all the children's books in our library when I was a teenager and growing up with books and reading, and also as an adult. So I like to read a lot. But at least nowadays, I don't know how it's here, but in Finland, the meaning of the books has sunken also in libraries, because you can order sports equipment there. You can lend them even more than the books. So
we spoke about it during the debate with publisher Teresa Horvátova from Baobab, and she spoke about how libraries changed since like even I was a little kid, that it used to be a place where you came in and you should be silent and just borrow books and bring them home, or really quietly read them there. And now here in Czech Republic it's more and more necessary that the libraries happen to be place where the culture happens, where the debates happen, and you can be louder there and spend your free time, and there are a lot of activities for kids, and it's important that it's changing, because somehow it changed the world of literature, that it's not something you should do alone and in quiet. But
I hope that people would also read, because they are cultural centers, and that's a good thing. I would like to work in the library, but it's because I think I would have lots to give, because I can also use the machines. We have laser cutters there, some 3D printers, and musical studios. You can record.
Yeah, there is the big library in Helsinki, right? What's the name? I forgot.
Abwa. Don't ask so fast. the big one in the center, but all the smaller ones have those as
but
well.
I know that this is also like important building because of its architecture. That it's
and I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, me too. But
yes, it's next to the Sanomatalo and across Eduskuntatalo. So those are the landmarks.
Yeah, but
Again,
put the Google Helsinki Library and listeners will find out.
Yeah, if you Google and look for the government building and then turn 100 degrees, it's there. Yes.
Yeah. And you are based in Helsinki. Maybe can you tell us more about illustration scene there? Because you mentioned a bit that education and illustration, it's not so maybe good in Finland.
Yeah, because it has been cut down. It has been really good. Yes, but we have a really good society for illustrators with own small gallery, and I've been also member of the board. I'm not now, but I've been member, and we are having lots of happenings, not like this kind of symposiums, this is awesome, but smaller like happenings and illustration days and seminars and things that are happening. And you should check Kuvittajat. It's Google Finnish illustrators and you find the gallery, and you can join our happenings that there is openings and maybe workshops too. Yeah. What was the next question? The next part.
If you can share something about the Finnish illustration scene, like for example, does exist some, except this gallery, some like little shops which are selling zines, or is it not so common in Finland?
I think this is changing now. But for example, Kiasma shop used to buy sell most of my illustration zines, artsy zines. But if you want to work for Finland, you should just send your portfolio to publishers. It's possible. And Finland is quite visible also in Bologna. So you can find Finnish publishers there and artists as well. I haven't been in Bologna, but I always hear it from my friends who go there. And they say it's awesome and I would love to see the exhibitions. And we have this illustration triennale in Finland. It's happening now this year. And my works got also selected there, so I'm really happy. It opens in June in Mikkeli. And there is an art museum that has exhibition about illustrations every third year. So that's a big thing. And yeah, we have things happening also in Tampere, which is quite big city in Finland. They have a lively scene there, and we are visiting. I'm also a member of freelance graphic designers. We are at the end of the summer. We are having workshop and visiting Tampere. So I always try to keep my calendar, remembers things on my part, and I read the newsletter of Finnish illustrators, and I try to select everything I can be part of because it's wonderful. And I think Finnish children's books are living now. They are in a good phase. They are really fresh.
Thank you. I think it's everything from me. I don't have any more questions. It was really pleasant to speak with you and learn more about your work and even Finnish scene and your approach to public art, which is, I think, a really interesting and important topic, which is also somehow connected with a lot of people who are part of this symposium this year. So have a nice day and the best of luck with your observation in Bromo.
Thank you so much. It's been so great to be here so far, and it's awesome. Thank you for having me here and also for the podcast.
Podcast z kláštera.